Chelsea Skidmore Show. I'm here today with my guest, actor and comedian Jamie Kennedy.
Hello, Chelsea Skidmore.
Hi.
Did we ever meet before?
I don't think that we've had a conversation in person, but I see you around at the Comedy Store all the time.
Thank you.
I know you did something with my husband on Josh's show.
Multiple things with your husband.
Was it?
I think I've done a few things with your husband.
The Comedy Chaos thing?
I've done the Comedy Chaos, and I think I've been on shows with him.
Oh, okay.
Yes. He was the animal trainer that I kind of believed was the animal trainer until towards the end.
Did you think that was real?
Well, like Josh had told me there was like certain things with characters that will come in, but he didn't know if he was going to be able to get one tonight, so sometimes he gets real people.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And I saw your husband, and I'm like, I think I know him, but then I was like, this guy's handsome. I'm like, he's a little too handsome to be an animal trainer. And then I thought, well, maybe he's the TV animal trainer, so they sent the good-looking guy. It was a lot. And then I was like, wait a minute. This took me a minute.
Yeah, I think Esther.
Yeah,
Esther Koo. Or Koo.
Esther Koo.
Why am I saying Cuckoo? Is that her Twitter name or something?
I think it's Koo in the gang. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think she ruined it, but I think everyone believed it up until then.
I believed it.
That's good. And you're a character guy.
I try. I have moments where I do some characters.
How long have you been doing stand-up?
Let's see. I started
hard out of the gates.
Right out of the gate. My first set ever was in 1990.
Oh, okay. But did you just recently come back, or had you been doing it?
No, it's fascinating that people have said this.
Oh, okay.
So, let me get your opinion of this. So, I've been doing stand-up. I was doing it from like 1990-ish, 91 to 95. And that was in town. And then, open mics. And then I got really busy as an actor. Mm-hmm. And then I started, and I didn't really do it that much. And then I started again in 99.
Okay.
And then I really hit the ground running in 99. So I've been doing it for 20 years. I've done, 2 specials, documentary. But I guess I wasn't in town as much. And so I started coming back in town around the beginning of 2016. Or at end of 2015, about 3 years. But I feel like I was always on the road. I was always doing colleges, always doing corporates. But people were like, well, you weren't ever in town. But I feel like the scene was different. The scene was different before 2015. It was slower, and podcasts didn't hit critical mass, and Netflix didn't hit critical mass. So I feel like a lot of people do say that, but I was on the road.
Okay. Yeah, because I felt like, I've worked here for a couple of years, and then I feel like you just popped up.
Yes.
And then, so there's a lot of actors who just, like, pop up all of a sudden doing stand-up. So but then I knew that you had done it, but I wasn't sure if it was consistently throughout.
Yes, people, I can see that, because everybody is doing stand-up now, not just actors, rock stars, wrestlers, there's all types of people doing it. So, yeah, I'm known more as an actor, but I've been doing it my whole career.
Is that annoying when people make that assumption like I just did?
I don't know. I mean, maybe because it's like, you want to be. I mean, I am an actor too. I love acting. So it's like, you want to be known as like, yo, I'm a comic, but it's like, I understand it. So, but now I think it's different because everyone's doing it from different verticals. But yeah, I mean, look, I've got more fame as an actor than a comedian, so I can't get mad at that.
Yeah. Well, I like to start chronologically, so I guess we can revisit the stand-up in a little bit. But, and I was just saying as I got in here, so I did Baron Brown, which you studied at.
Yes.
I just finished my last class of the 2-year program.
You just did it?
Last night.
Whoa.
I know.
What?
Yeah.
You just finished?
Yeah, I'm so sad that it's over. Did you do the full 2 years?
Yeah. Wow.
How long ago did you do that? When you first came out here?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
1991.
Wow.
To 1993. Do you know who was in my class? Do you know who was in the advanced class? And then I got to work my way up to it. Leslie Mann.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I think Keanu. I saw him once getting a private.
Really? Oh yeah, actually, DW was my teacher. He said that he has trained.
And Robin. From
Robin Wright Penn.
Robin Wright was one of the. She had left, but I'd heard about her. Like, she was this outstanding actress that was about to blow up. And there was a few different people. Harry Hamlin. So yeah, I mean, I went there in '91, and yes, I feel exactly what you feel.
What?
That I didn't want to leave either.
Right?
Doesn't it change your whole perspective?
It changed so many things for me. And last night we did this. Who was your teacher?
Tom Patton.
Yes.
So Tom could be my teacher forever.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was my teacher my first year, and then my second year was DW. And I mean, I still have a guru thing with them. They're definitely guys that have showed me the way the world works.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah. I mean, if people, and it's funny because you and I right now are in our own little cold status right now, and we're getting it, and they might not, but it's like, it really is, because stand-up is its own thing, and I was doing stand-up before, and then I was doing that, and it's a beautiful coexisting thing with stand-up, right? Because it makes you that much more aware.
I grew so much on stage in the past 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
People were like, what changed? What did you do that was different? And then I was like, it's from my class.
Yeah.
From doing that twice a week and not like caring, that it made me not care as much on stage.
Yeah.
Because I would care more about in class about, trying to be like a vulnerable person.
Yeah. So wait, what's your birth sign?
Libra.
Okay. I don't know enough about that, but I do believe in that stuff too. So that's like the third
thing. Did you have anything else?
What?
Anything else about that, or?
I have to think about.
What are you?
I'm a Gemini.
Okay. Oh, so it's just your birthday? No, that's in May.
That was in May. It just happened. But I didn't I believe that stand-up taught me one set of skills. Joanne Barron taught me another set of skills. And then I believe our birth signs. I know that sounds corny as hell. I've been in therapy. I'm not in it now in a long time, but I've done a lot. So after all this, I believe that our birth signs are also affecting us.
Because that's the third.
Yes. And I feel like if I'm in a room with a sign I get along with, it's because that sign. If I'll check that person's sign, and 98% of the time I'm like, oh yeah. Or if somebody I argue with, oh yeah, Sarah. So,
yeah, no, I yeah.
And I know
what I get along with, and I know what I don't get along with.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I know Pisces are difficult people.
They're emo.
Okay.
They get emo.
Cancer is emo.
Really?
My husband is a Cancer, and he's so sensitive. And whenever I tell someone he's a Cancer, they're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. But
I know I'm indecisive.
Okay.
True.
I don't know enough about your sign. I apologize.
It's okay. You're two-faced, right? Don't you have an evil little twin?
I have about 8 faces.
Really?
Yeah, there's multiple personalities. But wait, I want to go back to what you're saying, because the Joanne Barron D.W. Brown Studio, how it helped you as a comedian and me as a comedian, is it just, not only did it make you more free, but it also, when you heard a glass clink, you went, zip, it makes you aware of everything. If one person snorts, you're like, what was that, sir?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I love about it. And I think that as actors and artists and as comedians, we always have to look, it's not about us, it's about what's that other person doing.
Mm-hmm. And how do I feel about it?
Yes. So congrats.
Thank you.
And it's incredible.
Yeah. I think, so DW randomly brought you up in class.
I've heard,
a week ago.
I'm very fortunate that they use my name a lot. So what did he say?
I can't remember, but I think they said that you were living in your car.
I was.
While you were doing, and I knew I was having you on. So I was like, oh, I can't wait to ask him about that period in his life.
Do you be like, that guy's at the store all the time and now is that funny?
What do you mean?
Well, do you look at me, because you're
you're
a contemporary of mine.
Uh-huh.
Because we're both comedians.
Yeah.
At the Greatest Comedy Club.
Yes.
And yet, he's talking about you like,
talking about you.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Well, all the people in class are like, oh my God, Malibu's Most Wanted. And I'm like, he's a comic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, they said something about you living in your car and then something about you saving up money to go to London.
Yes, I did that.
I want to hear about it.
So I went.
So wait, first of all, when you first got here, you first came to LA in 1990.
89.
89.
Yes.
How old were you?
19.
19.
Yes.
And where did you grow up?
Philly.
Okay. So you come out here to be an actor.
A star.
A star.
Now, I was just telling somebody else this. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew I wanted to be out here somehow in this business.
Mm-hmm. Were you a funny kid growing up? Extroverted?
Both. It was funny. It was annoying.
Yeah.
I didn't like, people didn't know what to make of me. I wasn't a great student. I had a lot of odd jobs I got fired from. And
Like what?
Just, I worked at Red Lobster. I got fired. I worked as a caterer. I got fired for stealing beer. I just did tons of stuff. And I was always my own headstrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a long story, but I got to be an extra in a movie in Philly. And then that like really kind of set me on my path of, wow, this is something I should do.
Mm-hmm. And what happened that day? Anything in particular? Or you just saw everyone? You're like, oh, I want to be what that person's doing.
So I was in Philly and I was out of high school and I was delivering pizzas. And I was taking a local acting class. And my teacher was very encouraging. It was like the first time someone was really encouraging to me. And she was like, you know, you really can do this. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. She's like, you have this natural watchability and there's something about you that I like. And I said, what does that mean? She goes, I don't know. But you should explore it. And I would say, how do I do that? And she goes, I don't know. But you should do it. And I'm like, well, what's the steps? And she goes, I don't know, but you have to do it. So she goes, and she was awesome. She would just say, just do it. And I'm like, how do I do it? She goes, just do it. and then she kind of taught me that. And then she said, it will do you, which is a great term because I was obsessed with it. So then, long story short, is a movie came to town called Dead Poets Society.
Yes.
And my friend's mom was a local actress, like a big actress in Philly. She had a line in the movie, knew I wanted to be an actor, got me a meeting with the extras casting. I met with them. I did whatever I could, and they hired me for 3 days to be an extra. And then the next day, I was standing next to Robin Williams at the hummus tray. And I was like, and then it was just literally being on set, feeling that energy, like the first time you did a repetition in your class, or the first time you sat in that stage in an OR, you knew, boom. That's what you're supposed to do. So that's how it was, that same type of lightning moment. And I just felt, wow, I have a purpose. And that's how it started.
So then you said, I got to get out to L.A.
I was an extra, and I made as much money in being an extra as I did pizza. And I was doing something I loved, so I got to figure out. Then I moved to L.A. to become an extra. And then I learned it was very competitive. It was harder to be an extra than it is to be a damn star. There's so many people trying to be extras. And so I signed up all these agencies, and I didn't have any money, and did all these. That's a long story short. But so then I started figuring out I didn't even know what a headshot was. I didn't know what tape was. And
really?
Yeah. So then I didn't start doing stand-up comedy for almost a year later, about a year later, and I had no plans to do it or whatever. And it was just like people kept telling me, you should try stand-up. You should try stand-up. It's free. There's open mics. You can sign. You can be as crazy as you are, and people will probably like you. And so there was a guy at the beach, Michael Collier. He would do it on the beach. There was a room called the Natural Fudge. There was the L.A. Cabaret. There was the open mic here, which I signed up. And James Stevens III would come on and destroy the room. Like he was at 3. It was incredible. So I was like, and then at least I had a purpose. So every week I would get the new open mics and I would sign up. That's all. And it was a lot of stop and starting. It was a lot of painfulness. It was a lot of bombing, a lot of scare, a lot of insecurity, a lot of all that. Which is still here. Was
your first job Romeo and Juliet?
First movie, yeah.
Okay. Was that after? How soon after class was that?
Are you gauging?
No, I'm just curious because I looked on your Wikipedia this morning, did a little research, and I'm so annoyed that movie was not on your Wikipedia.
That's weird.
Because I love that movie.
It probably raised. How old are you?
I'm 31.
So it really is in the sweet spot.
For my age.
Well, no, you were probably 9-ish.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it. And you know what's so fucking funny about that is that for some reason I thought Michael Rappaport was the other guy. Do you know who I'm talking about?
That's Dash Mihawk.
Yes, but
that's so funny.
Okay, even more funny is that I was working in the main room a couple weeks ago when we were doing our style scenes, and I was doing 12th Night, so I'm like reading my Shakespeare.
In the main room?
Yeah, like I was working.
Shows?
Yeah, like I was like just after I checked, because I worked the door, and I was checking people in, and then when people were done, I was like sitting in the like little office that people walk by reading it, and I was like, oh, Michael Rappaport is gonna walk by and see me reading this, and maybe he'll be like, oh, I did Romeo and Juliet, and then this morning I like looked on the IMDb, and I was like, that wasn't Michael Rappaport.
So
to me, that is so funny.
That is
it's just
so
ridiculous. And this whole time,
funny.
And because he kind of came in, or at least he wasn't even. I don't even know his history. I don't really want to make this about him, but I was this whole time. I've been like, oh, he was. That's so cool. He was in Romeo and Juliet.
Couple things. I'm gonna comment on that. First of all, so you're thinking of Dash Mihawk.
Well, you knew who I was thinking about.
Yeah, I think of Dash. Dash was Benvolio.
Yeah,
he's the red-haired dude, and he's also an OG, and he's also a head. We call a hip hop head.
Don't they look similar?
Yeah, well, they have a similar vibe, and Michael is the OG. He is the godfather of us all, of white dudes who love hip hop. I mean, Michael is the OG, but he is like legit, like he's down with Q-Tip, and he knows all of it. But Dash is from New York, and he was also a hip hop kid and rapper. So, and he had told me that he got that a lot. But also going back to rap, when I started comedy, rap was a comedian.
Oh.
Rap was always around at the Improv, and he was always doing comedy. And then he got a movie called something Head. You can look it up. Damn it. It was a huge movie, and that propelled his acting career. But he started as a stand-up, too.
Yeah.
People don't know that. I don't know if they know that. I mean, I don't know. I think he did.
So, I love that movie. You had the pink hair.
The zebra head, that was it. Yes, I did. I had the pink hair.
And did they? You dyed it pink, right? That was a good look.
Thank you.
I just got reminded of it when I was like looking this morning. I was like, that's so cool looking. You don't see enough guys with that. It's a popular color for girls today.
I know, right? I might have been.
You should bring that back.
First. So it's interesting. So we met with a director, and like when I would watch Entourage, I couldn't watch it because it was so real to me. Because there's so many things in that movie that show that I was like, that happened, or they didn't show all of it. So I auditioned for Romeo and Juliet for like my second or third callback at the Chateau.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've had a lot of auditions there.
Really?
It's awesome. That's
so cool.
I know.
That's so insider.
Well, people would.
I never had an audition there.
Oh, it's great. But
I mean, I thought it was an audition, but it didn't work out well for me, and it was at the Peninsula, and it ended in a tree.
Oh Jesus! You can't say. See, you can't even talk about hotels on auditions, but they were a place where people did. So,
really?
Yeah, it was like, because if you're a director or a producer or someone from out of town, you stay at a nice hotel. So that was a nice hotel. So
that's cool.
I've never had a weird audition in a hotel.
Well, you're a guy.
I'm a guy, it's true.
But that's actually, I've heard other stories.
But yeah,
Not
yes.
about guys. But anyways.
So I did that, and it was like awesome. And Baz was like, letting me run around. He's like, try this, and it was like and it was great. So I got the movie, and I was very like, so he like looked at us as like a palette, because he's like an artist and he's very visual too. And so he's like, you got Leo, this beautiful boy, and he's like blonde, California. And then you've got Dash, who's like redheaded. And then he had my co-star who's like Zach, and I'm gonna make him bald. And he had Harold, and he had the dreads, and he's like, what do you want to be? And I was like, dude, I'm like, it's Miami, right? And it was like, we were first gonna shoot Miami. Which would have been even wilder because it was a wild shoot.
Yes.
And he's like, I'm like, dude, I think pink. And he's like, yes, pink. I love it. Yeah, right, pink. And then fucking bam, I went from brown hair to pink. They did a lot of process.
Where did that shoot?
Mexico City.
Oh, okay.
And I was supposed to be there for 4 weeks, and I was there for 9 weeks.
Was that so much fun as a 19-year-old being with all of those?
No, I wasn't 19. I was 25 at the time.
Oh.
25.
But everyone looks so young in it.
Yeah, we all do look young.
Was it cool working with Leo? I have to ask as a girl.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's like,
Leo?
he's the man. He's like, I was literally so paranoid, though, like, when I was working on that I was like, just like working, and then like when I wasn't, I was like in my hotel room because I was like I didn't really. It was my first.
Yeah. So
first, he was great.
Paranoid that you were gonna fuck up.
Yeah, just
or
didn't
like
want to say the
imposter
wrong
syndrome
thing and all of that, And I was just like, it was Shakespeare.
I know. So how did
Leo was about to be? He was already Leo, but he was about to become Leo.
Oh, okay.
So he was pre-Titanic.
Oh.
And I was like, everyone knew that he was...
Oh, right. That's 97.
Yeah, so everyone knew that he was about to be this thing, and he was great. But it was like, I was just kind of always worked, and when we didn't work, we were just, like I was in my hotel room or I was like looking around the city. I was like not casual. I was nervous.
Yeah, I love how like natural it was. You know what I mean? Just how it just flowed so easily.
Yeah, I mean we did a lot of rehearsals.
Yeah. Did you guys work with someone who helped you like break it down to make it more okay?
So Baz and Craig Pierce, who's the writers and the directors and producers, they had it, and then they would break down what the text was in America and like today's speak.
Yeah.
So it was basically it was like Romeo and Juliet, but spoken in the modern, and it was, like kind of like a class warfare type of thing. And we actually had curses that if we wanted to improvise that were also in Shakespearean.
Wait,
like peddler's excrement. That scene where we're like peddler's excrement, or Daft Punk or whatever I said.
All I remember is like the gas station scene. Yeah, it's my favorite.
That's the opening scene.
It is.
Really?
I can't wait. Well, I haven't seen it in so long, but that's
your favorite scene.
It was just really cool. It was like a million things happen in like 1 second.
It was insane.
Just like the crazy speed of it. It kind of reminded me of Spun.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I auditioned like 5 times for that movie.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm friends with Will. He's such a crazy guy who made that movie. He wrote that movie in one night on meth in Oregon. He has the craziest story.
Yeah. What's his name?
Will De Los Santos.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah.
Visually, it looks, that it has that like methed out like kind of thing.
That was my first like shooting week. That whole week was just me and Dash and Zach Orth
and John Leguizamo
and John and Harold and lucky I was with a lot of loving people that were in Baz. I mean, everyone was like really like, yo man, this is how you hit your mark, or this is how you say it, and yo, make sure you got your good eye angle. I mean, everyone was really great. So they were very, very, very. I was fortunate.
So you come back from that, you're on a high. How quickly do you crash? And then, like, what happens after that? Were you like, where do I go from here?
Yeah, I mean, so many things I could talk about that movie, but it was like I said, like he's like, what's it working with Leo? I mean, he was the best.
And I mean, feel free to go on about the movie. I just didn't know if that was annoying.
No, but like
because for me, that's like during my time.
Of course, yeah. But I was also just like I was always nervous, because I was like I wanted to be a good actor and I didn't want to be difficult. And DW said the 3 Ps, professional, preparation, and something else and something.
Fuck, what was that?
I don't know that last P, but I was literally not that far from class, and I was always like, don't be seen, don't be heard. Just when you're called, go on, do your acting, and get out. That's how I was still on that. And I think the gas station scene. I remember also like I would think of DW because that whole scene was one of the big moments. One of the big characters in that scene was me.
Mm-hmm.
And they had like cranes and helicopters, and I was like, and the DW was like, when you have your moment, own it. And I was like, I gotta own this. So I was lucky in the sense that I had that, and it was pressure. But once I got through the first day, I was like, okay. And I didn't have the pressure of other big stars, except and then John came in. So then that was my friend. Then I learned, how to, do counter shooting and all that stuff of like. What's a wide range shot and what's a medium, all that. So I get done that. Sorry to go off on a tangent.
No.
And you're on a high.
Yeah.
So you're like totally jacked up, right? I come back from Mexico City and I go to my apartment on Highland.
Wait, hold on. Do you keep the hair?
Yeah.
And for how long?
I keep it. And I have a final callback for Scream.
Oh, yeah.
And
the rules.
Yeah. And I'm like literally done the movie in April. So this is going to be crazy. So then I go my final callback for Scream. And they're like, your hair is pink. And I'm like, I know. I'm like, I just did a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. And they're like, your hair is pink. And I'm like, I know. I just did Romeo and Juliet with Baz Luhrmann. They go, your hair is pink. And I go, I know. And I'm like, I just did a big movie.
Yeah.
And they're like, so then I auditioned. Then I go, I'll dye it. I'll do whatever. I'll dye it. And they're like, okay. So then I did my thing, and they seemed to like it. But they were really weirded by my hair. And I was so scared.
Why? You can dye it.
I know, but I don't know. Maybe they were just playing.
Okay.
And
just trying to see how bad you want it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thing.
And then I heard, and then there was a lot of drama getting the part, but within 3 weeks of being back.
What was the drama?
I just had no credits.
Oh, okay. But even following that?
Well, I was like Romeo and Juliet was my first movie, and then going into another movie, I just jumped in the game quickly.
Wes Craven.
Yes, and so everyone else had credits except me, so they were like, they really wanted Jason Lee.
Okay.
And then I thought it was either going to be Jason or Breckin Meyer or Seth Green, and I was like, and I was the new guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, and they just kept auditioning me, and I just kept, staying in the mix, and then I got it. Well, it was like, they were like, okay, this guy doesn't have any credits, so fucking, you got to watch him. And then so within 3 weeks, I was back on that set. So my high was just still there, and then I got to go right to the next one.
Wow. That's sick.
I know, it was insane. And I was on there for 6 weeks. Then I came back, and I was like,
Yeah.
And I wasn't really drinking or anything, and I didn't really do a lot of stuff. And then I got a movie with Lisa Kudrow, Parker Posey, and Toni Collette, and a young actress, Alana Ubach. And I was like the dude in it.
What was that?
It was called Clock Watchers.
Okay.
That was like in indie.
That was like the one I always saw at the video store.
Yes.
Wait, why did you just react like that?
Because it's not really known, but it was big a blockbuster.
Oh my God, yes. I just remember seeing like the cover of that at my local video store, but I don't think I saw it. But I know actually it's like a really, like people really like that movie.
Well, it was like such an ahead of its time when we talk about 2019 and like, female empowerment. It was like this was a female director and a writer and all female cast. And I was like the sixth person in it, and I was like the dude, the kid. So it was like great. And it was like ahead of its time. And then it was like the first time Sundance was happening.
Ooh.
Right? So it was like
that's so fun.
So I went from like to that, and then towards the end of the summer, I don't know what happened, but I was definitely crazy and depressed when all of it stopped for a second, and I had to keep getting work because I was so addicted.
Yeah, that's what, like, all of that happened so fast. So
it was like years of trying.
Okay.
And then when it started going, and they're like, ooh, Chelsea's here. I just saw it. It's kind of like podcast world. I saw it in someone's podcast. So it's like that. So it's the same with movies. They pull you from thing to thing.
But before all of that, you had been trying for a long time and wasn't.
I was trying. Yeah.
What was the thing that I saw something about auditioning for 80 commercials or something, and
for what commercials? Yeah,
something,
I did.
Was that before all this?
Yeah, that was all before that.
Oh.
So I auditioned. I literally worked my way up. Like an extra. Go ahead.
Well, now I'm remembering. Yeah, who? Marty Powers. What
Marty
is that?
Powers.
Okay, I need to hear about that.
So I was.
That's hilarious.
So I was.
Let's get some hope in here.
I was selling like office supplies and working in a sweatshop, basically, of like, where you call and get numbers for a copy machine, right? And that's, what the toner is?
Yeah.
So
something to do with ink?
Yes. So you have to do that, and there's a scam out there where people call and they get the number off a copy machine. And so this guy had a whole shop.
Like a VIN number of a...
Yes.
Okay.
And so you call in, you go, hi, I'm calling from blah, blah. Do you have a copy on your copy machine? And you get all these numbers of women or men who run the office supply at a company. They tell you the number. Then you give the number back to one of the salesmen, and the salesman tries to upsell his toner at a higher price.
I like that world.
Yeah, so it was really not sexy. So for every number I got, it was 75 cents.
Okay.
So it was good money. So I was doing that, and I was getting, a lot of numbers. And it was finally a cash job, and it was like porn stars and strippers. It was right off La Brea and comics, and I got the job through a comic. So I got good at it, and then I was like, this is, why can't I sell myself? And I don't know if you know what the world was before social media, but you couldn't talk about yourself. If you said yo, you should come out and see me, I'm awesome, people would be like, you're a fucking psychopath. Now we live in the world of S-ing your own D.
Yeah.
So everybody, right? So it's like people would come and see you because they heard about you. But now it's like you got to be your own biggest press
So
agent.
gross.
Right? I know,
Yeah.
right? So I couldn't call and go, yo, my name is Jamie Kennedy and I'm funny and blah, 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 blah. They'd be like, fuck you. So I made up I was doing characters on the phone. If I would call the South, I'd be like, hey, man, this is Earl. I got to check on your photocopier. Can you tell me? And I call Brooklyn. Hey, fucking don't listen to me. You know, so I would do these voices. And then I created an old man named Marty Power, and I would call. And I got a book of comedy clubs and a book of agencies and a book of production networks, or not companies, networks. And I would call. Yeah, casting. Yeah. And I would call and pitch myself. So I had a tape of 2 commercials that I did. I had a stand-up set at a place called Igby's. I had another little set from the Ice House in the little room. And it was about 8-minute tape. And then I would call and I would say, and you have to sell yourself. I can't even really do the voice right now, but I called myself Marty Power. And I would say, I got a young kid here who's like a Robbie Benson type. You know, he's a cross between Robbie Benson and James Woods. Like, he's funny, but he's also very dark. So you have to cross-pollinate when you sell. Like, is it a bird, scooter, or a lime? It's like a lime.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? So, fucking sure enough, man. Do you know, this is a good lesson for everybody, on all of us. Do you know who would take my call right away? CIA.
CIA?
Do you know who would not take my call right away?
Who?
Jack Scagnetti. Look that name
Who's
up.
Jack Scagnetti?
Exactly. Jack Scagnetti is a guy that has like a 1 walk-up room in the fucking 818. And he's
Fuck
like,
you, Jack.
No, but listen to why. He's like, who the fuck is this? Who are you fucking calling me? You're a fucking imposter. He hung up because he was a low-level scumbag like me. I'm not calling you a scumbag, Jack, but CAA would never think that you would lie to them. So I always tell people, lie to the big people because they're so arrogant. They believe that you would never do that. So I got into Brosteen Gray.
Oh.
I got into CAA. I got into MTV. I got into Universal Casting. I got into a ton of places.
Marty got you in.
Marty got me in. And I always said, listen, can you take a meeting with the guy? Here's the deal. I'm going to retire. I'm going to West Palm Beach, you know. I got something called gout. It's taking me out of the business. I've done this a long time. You know, Jon Stewart, I remember him was a valet. I would just bullshit my fucking head off, and I would say stuff like this. Kevin Nealon, I remember that kid. He was selling oranges. Oh, yeah, good kid. Like, I just lie my dick off, and that's what you do in life.
That's so funny.
And I would get meetings, and then, I don't know, and that's how it started, and then I got into rooms. And then that's how I started. But I don't know what the point of my story was. But
I asked you about who Marty was.
Yes, and that's so then I would deliver the tape, and then if they liked it, the meeting sometimes I'd get off the phone, but usually they want to see something. So then the tape would have to stand. So I got pretty good meetings off the tapes.
I used to call restaurants and pretend I was Chelsea Clinton's assistant. If they were sold out, I'd be like, well, Chelsea Clinton's coming in. Just because I had the name Chelsea. And then sometimes it would work. And then I'd be like, hey, like reservation for Chelsea. And they're like, you're not Chelsea Clinton. And I was like, no, it was a reservation for Chelsea. And they were like, okay, yeah.
Were you in what city?
In New York.
Oh, all right. So yeah, that's all right.
It was just like a fun little.
If this is North Hollywood, it would be like, that's weird.
North Hollywood, no one's. You can get you don't need a reservation in North Hollywood.
New York. Wow, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Chelsea and Chelsea.
Yeah, and I'm from New York, and my family lives in Chelsea, so it's Chelsea and Chelsea.
Are you from the city?
I grew up in Westchester.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have no accent.
I know, and sometimes I have a Southern accent. People say.
I find that people that grow
or like people say Valley Girl. Unfortunately,
it's bizarre. People that grow up in the city of New York, the actual city people, have no accent.
No,
it's the boroughs.
Well, certain words I say like sauce. You know, I have the A thing. Okay. Certain things like dragging it out. I guess.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, okay. So Scream. I'm just like going chronological.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
I mean, it was a lot of things.
It was incredible. I saw it when I was 10. I was so scared because, I really wanted to see it when I was younger, and it was a really popular movie in the theaters.
Yes.
But my mom didn't want to take me because I was 10 years old. And
it's a good mother.
And then it got extended Or
Yes.
is that how you would say that?
It got they just kept adding
They
it.
they kept it longer, and then I
Yes.
said, please, they extended it longer, like another month. It was like a whole thing that I feel like that's not a thing anymore.
No.
They were like, we're extending it like a couple more weekends, right?
Yes.
What was that called? Extending it doesn't
like
seem like. I feel like there's a better word.
Run.
Like a longer
run.
Whatever. So then we saw it, and then I
They did
remember
extend it.
I was so fucking scared, and we were watching the opening scene with Drew Barrymore, and I was like so scared, and she like turns to me and she goes, "We can leave if you want," and I was like, "No, I want to stay," and I was like so scared. But yeah, that was fun. Yeah, that felt like so.
That's cute.
Yeah.
So we
So
corrupted you.
huh?
So I corrupted you.
Yeah, you grew up with me.
I corrupted you.
Corrupted me. I think so. So I grew up with you, but yeah, I guess so too. Wait, were you? But you weren't. Were you the killer in the two?
No.
No, you were just the guy who was talking about the rules.
I warned everybody.
Yeah. That was a good part.
Thank you.
Yeah.
His name is Randy.
Randy, right. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, you die, right? I
I-
can't remember. I haven't
I-
seen it in so long.
I
Is this
died-
rude?
I died in the second one. It's very rude, Chelsea.
Is it?
It's very rude, Mrs. Clinton. No, it's not rude.
Sorry.
What do I expect you to know? The movie
don't
came
know.
out 20 years
I know.
ago.
I haven't seen it in a
Of course
while.
It's not rude. Funny.
Thank you. So after that, then what? So you got really depressed, as we do,
I was depressed because it was like,
because it's over
well, you put all this
for that time.
Yeah, you put all this effort in, and you're like, and then it's happening, and then you're like, you don't like your whole life is just. I mean, you tell me, but my whole life was, and kind of is. I'm getting better at it. Was just getting the job, doing the job, and then wondering where the next job is.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
There was no social, and it was like my friends were people that were on the job or helping get the job or whatever, and it's like it's like constantly running. So I did that, and then those projects started coming out, and then that got me more popular, and so then I started going out on more movies and doing more stuff, and so I had a nice little run.
And then with the prank show.
Well, I did movies until, and a lot of movies until for 4 years. And then people wanted to get me in TV. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do TV. I want to a movie guy, and, there is, if anyone's listening who's like a young person, I would say wherever you're at, pick your path,
Mm-hmm.
because I specifically did not do comedic. Like I was getting whatever I would get, but then when I started getting the roles,
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of trying to get my agent to send me out on more stuff. So even if I was funny, like I was in a movie Three Kings or Boiler Room, I was the movies were very dramatic.
Ben Younger.
Yeah, Ben Younger.
I went on a date with him one time.
Really?
Yeah, I met him when I was 18 at Beatrice Inn. Did you ever go there?
Is that in New York?
Yeah, it was a really cool.
I think so. You really were a New York head. Wow. Do you remember Jet Lounge? Or is that before your time?
No, I don't remember Jet.
Do you remember Home
But
nightclub?
I do remember Home.
I would be in Home.
I was a really big nightlife person.
I could totally. Wow. So you were.
I was a cokehead. I'm sober now.
That's the way to do it. I went out a lot.
Was that a genuine reaction?
I was a nightlife person. I was a cook. Yes. What do you think it was? A fake reaction? What? That's hilarious. I was a cokehead. It took you 3 tries to get to it. I was a cokehead. Yeah. I'm from New York, not the Valley. I like
Every
shit.
person, when they do an impression of me, does that exact voice. I'm beginning to realize that might just be my voice.
Yeah. No, you're not even that bad. Wait.
you.
I remember going to Home in 2006, and Tracy Morgan was there.
Uh-huh.
And he had his own bottle. And I'm like, who?
You mean his own table or his own
his
vodka?
own table,
Oh,
but
okay.
with a bottle. I'm like, yo, where's all the, the people? And he goes, they coming. They coming. And he had a fucking big ass bottle. I'm like, can I have some? He goes, get yours. You get yours. And I was like, okay. So Jamie. And he took his shirt off. Remember there was a time when he would be taking his shirt off?
No.
He would rock the shirt off. And that's when the first time I ever heard him about somebody getting pregnant tonight. He said
You
that.
have to do that on stage.
I will try. I don't know if it's a good impression, but
Do you do stories, or I don't think I've seen you.
That hurts my soul.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Do
Like I just try. I do story. No, I don't. I mean, I just try to be funny. You know what I mean? It's like you know what I mean? It's fucking war. But I do. Look, I used to do like impressions, and then I did characters, and I feel like you can't do so much impressions as much because people are like, well, you know,
not funny.
No, it's like, it's like I love a good impressionist. Man,
yeah,
I will die. I love a great impression. I love a good character. So I'll mix them in if it's natural, but I'll talk about myself, and now I'm getting more into my opinions of things, but trying to make them funny. Like I'll try to take something dark. And try to make it really digestible. So that's where I'm at. So I don't know what I am. But I'm like, and then, you know, I feel like half of my show is like that. The name of my new special, I might change the name.
You already filmed it?
I filmed it. It's called Can I Say That? But I think the next one will be Can I Say That? And I think this one should be called Stupid Smart.
Okay.
Because like half of my stuff people would think is stupid and the other half is smart. But people I think look at me as one way, but they don't realize that I'm a comedian, it is my job to be funny. So sometimes I have to be a little goofy, in my opinion, to entertain the audience, and then it's like I slowly loosen them up, lather them up before I give them the sauce. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's harder to do that in town sometimes because you have 15 minutes and it's like a packed crowd. You got to kill. So sometimes it's harder for me to go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But anyway, whatever that is, I mix it up. There is no way. I think you could do whatever. Tell a story, have an opinion.
Yeah. Malibu's Most Wanted.
Malibu, see. Fauci.
So you wrote that, right?
Well, it was one of the writers.
Did it
Nick
start
Swardson.
with the character? Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Did that start with that character? Did you have that character first and then you wrote it? Okay.
So I was doing the character. I was doing stand-up. It was like my first real stand-up bit that was like killing. And it was all about how like white dudes thought they were from the streets. Because I grew up in Philly and I took the subway and I would see like white dudes who listened to hip-hop and we'd be like, hey, what's up, Daryl? Hey, DeAndre, what are you doing? What's KRS-One? And we would all know hip hop. And DeAndre would be like, yes, right. But we weren't like, yeah, what's up, son? What's up, player?
Yeah, I know. Like everyone I grew up with was like this. Yeah, like in a Civic.
Like Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah, he was a past podcast guest.
He knows hip hop, but he don't talk like, you know, hip hop. He talks like a normal dude. So I was like that. It was like the hardest dudes who knew it weren't like that, right? So then I was like, I would come out to L.A. and dudes would be like on Rodeo. They'd be like, yeah, what's up, son? Where you going, son? Like saggy shorts, these white rich kids would be like, yeah, man, you better stay out of Chanel, bitch. And I was like fascinated because I had never seen that. Like I just, you know, brothers from the hood would talk, you know, like however, I don't know. And then white dudes would be like, hey, what's up?
I feel like every rich white kid has had a phase where they wanted to be a rapper.
Probably, but
you know,
but there's a difference between there's like Logic who just talks like you know, like Logic and then can rap, and then there's people that, you know, do have a little street to them. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's what the movie was about. It was based on like how hip hop is kind of. It's like there's a great memes, and I believe it was a black woman who wrote, "They love our rhythm, but they hate our blues." Mm-hmm. It's a deep meme because it's all about how people love to take the greatness of black culture, but don't want the stress and the strife, which is true. You know, we borrow a lot of things from black culture, like, you know, the fun, but there's a lot of oppression and pain that, you know, that we don't understand. So that's kind of what. On a deeper level, Malibu's was about. It was about a guy that was like kind of fronting. But it really wasn't because he was really who he believed he was. He just happened to learn it from TV. But it struck a chord, and I still love it.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. And people, when they reviewed it, didn't get it. But the most well-reviewed people who did it were black publications. They got what I was doing.
That's cool.
People.
That's the best thing that you could have wanted.
Yeah. It's because white people don't get it. It's like when you go to do a crowd and a white person tells you, a white No offense.
Unless you're a white guy who listens to rap, and then they're like, "That's so funny."
A white woman will tell you right away what's offensive in the crowd. Do you agree?
If they have short hair, or no makeup and long hair and trousers.
They're the police.
Yeah.
Of comedy.
So your special? Can I say this? Is that what you say it was called?
I just filmed that. Yeah.
Based off of it being an annoying time to do comedy. Or not even, you know what I mean? I feel like that has a negative connotation, but it is true. I don't want to be a downer, oh, it's so annoying. But just, how everything is so politically correct and there's,
Well, it was there used to be something called a joke.
Yeah.
And you could do a joke outside of the Comedy Store or the Improv. And now, sometimes when people don't laugh at a joke, I'll be like, I'm sorry, guys, this is a safe space. Literally, if you would do a joke that you do on stage here at the Trader Joe's, you might catch a goddamn case.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, comedy I don't think has ever been bigger. You know? I've talked to some of the OGs that come before me, and I think they agree, and it's never been more communal. All different levels of people are all connecting, and it's a beautiful cause, this melting pot. But it is, look, you just gotta, it is a time where, you are a woman who's 31 years old in comedy, and you are saying this. So if you're saying it.
Yeah, there's so many things I can't even. Oh.
Look at me.
Yeah, because you're a straight white male.
In my 40s. We're not that popular at the moment.
Yeah.
We're in a bit of a timeout.
Yeah, Steven, my husband, wanted to make a character called Straight White Male, and he comes out and he goes, I know, I'm the worst, just super hacky.
He's right, but it's why is that hacky? It's funny. Is everyone doing it?
No, doing a hacky, just really playing that up, I know, just really gross. I think that'd be so fucking
But wait,
funny.
it's true. But
I know.
But the whole thing is, what can I say? Because I have a new joke now I do, where I do a joke about women. And then people are kind of look at me.
And what's the joke?
Most of the time. And then I go, you can't even do a joke about women anymore.
What is it? I guess it's awkward to do it.
Women are the new Blood and Crips.
Okay.
It's if you do a joke about women, don't do that.
Really?
You're going to piss off the women.
I guess it's different as a guy.
I just do a joke about how I do a joke about how men are shit, but that if you look in history, this is the best in history men have ever been.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I go into a history about how men have been terrible and how we're better than them, but we're still bad.
Yeah.
But I also want to do a thing where I'll accept that men are psycho, but do you also talk about other, no one talks about how there's 17 shows on television right now dedicated to women who have killed their husbands.
Yes.
The number one show is called Snapped. No one talks about that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many things I can't even say anymore. Yes. Well, I had a lot of offensive jokes that were really fun. And then within the past 2 years, I'd say I almost can't do at least 20. But they're pretty offensive. I'll tell you after. Because now I'm afraid of getting in trouble. You know what I mean? Do you have floss with you?
No. I was just waiting for that joke. I got excited.
Oh.
Do you go off?
Auschwitz jokes or some race jokes or, you know what I mean? Well, school shooting joke.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
I'm even scared that you said that. No, it's here's the thing. It's what is comedy?
Funny. With a twist. It's taking something and adding a fucked up spin, I think, for me.
Or to me, it is no holes barred.
Yeah, funny is funny. And
so
stop putting a rule on it.
Yes, it's no rules. And it's look, we're doing this in jest and almost letting the air out of the tire. So it's the earthquakes that we had. People are freaked out about the earthquakes. I'm you should be happy. We just let the steam out. Right?
Because that was coming anyway, sort of thing?
Well, if we don't, it's going to be huge. And So if you can't joke about something, listen, obviously if there's mean, and we all have our buttons and our moments and they're sensitive and there's certain things that we don't joke about. I'm that hurts my ass. Stop it. That's mean. But it's there's things that if you don't joke about it, where are you going to let the steam out?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? So it's That's what comedy is. It's like a pressure reliever.
Mm-hmm.
And so to not be able to is weird. But I do understand the wokeness. I'm seeing how unwoke I was, and I'm seeing how you can be. I know. It's
we
annoying.
have to say this.
No, but here's the thing: is this?
It's information. I'm so glad I'm learning.
But here's the deal: there is a difference between a comedian and an activist, and I will argue with anybody on that. Really?
Yeah.
No. Yes.
No, I'm thinking. That's
why are you gonna think?
I think.
You're in your head. React, right?
Yeah,
no, but it's like, think about it, right? Like, it's because it's like you can have comedy with a point and hilarious and just make a point, but if you're an activist, there's like rules to activism, and it's like comedy has no rules. It shouldn't be. And activism is like you have a cause and then you can't go against that cause. Well, comedy, you might go against the cause because the number one thing in comedy you cannot be hypocritical in comedy.
I've seen people holding their mouth, like trying not, and I'm like, why aren't you letting your laugh out?
I know. Well, this is with the audience.
Yes.
If you play a smaller room, they sometimes won't laugh because they're scared of what the people think.
I know, and I
judgment.
see that all the time.
Yeah.
Or it's just like pockets of people who like know how to still have fun, and the other people are like, are we allowed to like?
I know, because the people don't want to get dragged and all that shit, and it's the cancel culture. It's so stupid. It's like we want the most amount of forgiveness and open-mindedness, but we're the most judgmental.
Yes.
We're going to cancel you. Cancel me? What? I can't make a fucking mistake?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I mean, it's crazy. That's what's crazy. I can go down the rabbit hole on that one. It's just like art is trying. Right? And there's no other art that tries more than comedy. You literally try a fucking joke. You do not know if it works until you hear the reaction.
That's why I thought the Louis C.K. thing was so fucked up. With someone recording him in the club. I mean, I know that's like probably 6 months ago at least, but I just thought of that and how fucked up that is because it's like you're not giving people the chance to like create and fall into something and workshop something without it like being a fucking thing now.
Look, he whatever your belief is, but he was trying to find his hour in his workshop.
Yeah.
And people I probably was an unfinished hour and leaked it out to make him look bad. And it's not fair. If
you're so offended by stuff, why are you even going to a comedy show?
Yes.
Or it's like, or just go to Flappers at the Laugh Factory if like you just want something like a little more.
I love Flappers and Laugh Factory. Come on.
No, let me perform there, guys. But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like
a little bit more mainstream.
Yeah.
I think that
pass.
What is it?
It's my Salon Pass. I
don't know.
I don't know if you noticed. I was sore.
Is that your Is that your get off cocaine patch?
No.
I used to love going
that was
out.
An hour ago before this podcast started upstairs.
I used to love shopping. I was a cokehead. That's how you got there. That's the favorite part.
Let's just get right to it.
No, I agree with you. Like, don't like it's so true. Like, why the fuck people? I don't really think people understand what comedy is. Comedy is this is where you're gonna hear some things that you may not like, and I just don't think really people understand. It's not something you should bring your group from work to.
Mm-hmm. You made a documentary called Heckler.
Yes.
So.
Did you ever hear of it before this interview?
Oh, this morning.
Damn you, Chelsea.
Sorry. I'm just being honest, you know. You're from the East Coast. You get it.
You should know this.
That direct.
You should know this documentary.
Okay.
What do you know about it?
I'm going off of the word heckler. So I can imagine that you went around taping. I think I saw something like, were you experiencing a lot of hecklers? Enough to make a full documentary about it? Because I was wondering, was that set up then? Like, how did you start? Well, why don't you just fucking tell me? Like,
I was a cokehead. That's everything.
That comment. Sorry.
So, all right. So
I really love holding both of those.
They're funny.
Yeah.
So, no, because you can't. I got in trouble holding both. So I was getting ready to shoot my first special called Unwashed.
Unwashed?
Unwashed, it was called.
Washed or watched?
Unwashed.
Washed.
You washed, yes.
Oh.
Washed, yes. So, and I was, going around the clubs for about 6 months on the road, trying stuff. And my friend who was directing it was taping me. And I got like a interruption, a heckle, something happened, and I started looking at them, and they were hilarious. The interaction. So I started stringing them together. Oh. And then like I would do a meet and greet after, and then people would like say something weird to me or funny, and I'd be like, oh. So I started stringing that together, and I'm like, this is fucking fascinating. My friend, I'm like, is there a documentary? He's like, yeah, I think there is. So we started forming a documentary, and just taking heckles. And then I was like, this can't just be happening to me. It's got to happen to other people. So we started finding other people's heckles. They sent them to us. We started stringing them together. And then he's like, we got to fucking start interviewing people. And then we started interviewing other comedians, what their opinion was. So half of the movie is all about comedians getting heckled. What is a heckle? Why do people heckle? People's reaction to heckling. And that was what it was. And then as that started happening, criticism changed. Blogging happened. And so it used to be New York Times would review your movie. Now it was wafflemovie.com.
Waffle?
Exactly. And your movie would get 2 to 5 waffles.
There's no waffle.
There is. There's tons of fucking beercan.net. I'm dead serious.
Are you?
Johnny Beer. I'm dead serious. These are all sites.
I know Rotten Tomatoes sounds like a joke in comparison to this.
Rotten Tomatoes is real.
That's like, yeah.
So it's like you have a culture of, look how Rotten Tomatoes is set up.
I got 2 waffles.
And I don't give a fuck if Rotten Tomatoes hears this. Look at fucking Rotten Tomatoes. What is it starting at? Let's be real. People should make this go viral. So here's a website, Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So what's the first thing you think of with Rotten Tomatoes? It makes me so fucking pissed off. What is it? It's negative. I'm already I'm going to fucking hate your guts. How many tomatoes
Didn't it used to be more negative, and now it's just like a...
Are they trying to be less negative? If they are, they're bullshit artists. Their whole career was built off negativity and getting clicks. So now they want to be...
What happened with Rotten Tomatoes, Jamie?
I don't know. Oh, I've had a lot of Rottens. Well, no, I'm just saying, because if you're an artist, right, or a comedian, whatever we are, you want to try.
Yeah.
And when you try...
You want to be accepted and celebrated.
Well, but it doesn't mean you have to be. It just means that you want the freedom to try.
Yeah.
But if people are ready to cut you down so quickly...
Yeah.
That you're like, fuck. Why did I get... So it's like, if you start a website called Rotten Tomatoes...
Yeah.
Then it's like, here, let me start you with hate. So that's all that shit happened around the beginning of this heckler. And so we shifted it, and critics would not just review the movie anymore. They would review you. They would review your career. And it's just a lot of fucking haters. And I was like, what? This is fucking fascinating. And then I found out some of my biggest fans, not my fans, some of my biggest fucking inspirations, like, David Cross, Patton Oswalt, Joe Rogan, all these people spoke in the movie, Nick Swardson. And they would all tell me of their own stories. Bobby Lee. I was like, wow. So it made me feel better because they were all experiencing heckling, and it was just like, why are people doing it? And so it doesn't mean you can't criticize, but it's like, I'm not even in that world anymore. I'm like, I'm going to do what I do. Chelsea does what she does. It's not my job to judge your set. That's my opinion.
What did you feel? What did you find between like for me?
I'm too busy
feel like
doing my shit.
No, but like if there was like an average heckler, I feel like it's someone who just wants to be seen. Oftentimes, people who think they're funny and they want to be a part of the show, or it's just a drunk asshole.
No, it's a lot more than that.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that go online now. That the online is the worst because that's the safety net. And
yeah, I'm sure. Like I'm not in the same place as you, but I'm sure, like, I don't get, like, a ton of, like, shit at me.
Yeah, but no.
Where I'm at. You know what I mean? So I'm sure, like, you get... Yeah.
No, I'm a thing.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky to be a thing, but I'm also a thing. So it's like...
Do you read the comments?
Do you read books?
I know, I just realized.
Yes, I read.
I thought you knew what I was talking about. I was like, might as well add the comments.
Yeah, of course I do. Because...
Are you ever like, I'm just not going to read these, but it's like addictive?
All the time.
Does it hurt you? Can you can you not let it get in?
It only hurts if there's truth to it.
Fuck.
And so you have to look at that. So when you make a bad movie, which I have done, and you're like, fuck, that hurts. And there's a lot of things that come because of that. But you're like, look, man, you want to go and tell people, I'm not in control of everything. I'm one aspect. I'm not the studio. I'm not the I'm not all this stuff. It's like, yeah, I have to take my part. But when people lump it on you, or, you know, but if there's not truth to it, then it'll hurt less. But I've been dealing with it for a long time now, so I'm in a pretty good place. But it's just like, when there is some truth to it, I will take it and try to adjust it if I believe it. But let's be honest. I mean, it's painful, and people like you. Somebody told me I should have a thick skin the other day, and I said,
"Switch places."
Well, I just said to myself, "That's why you like me."
Yeah,
because I am sensitive, and I am feeling, and that means there's going to be days where it's not good, and that's why we're able to absorb and then regurgitate what we absorbed and create art. And when people say you should have a thick skin, no, go work in insurance.
Right. Do you ever? Okay, so does I'm just trying to think of like something that would make you feel like, do you get affected by bombing, or if you have a bad night or a bad show, like what do you do when you go home after that? Like a friend of mine, he bombed so hard, he got a haircut. Which I just think is the funniest thing ever.
I think that sometimes it's like I'm in a really good place, but some shows now, you'll do a lot of shows with, I mean, it's the fucking Avengers right now in comedy.
Yeah.
And it's not, and it used to be one headliner or whatever. And when I would go on the road, I'm the king of my castle. And it's good. And you sell and you make good money. And the great thing about coming in town is that you have to play the same stage as everybody. And that is sometimes where I can get insecure.
Yeah.
Because it's like, fuck, these are fucking the Avengers of comedy. So when that's around, I feel like I gotta be on my game.
Yeah.
And
everyone does.
Yes, everyone
does.
And even if you're friends with people or whatever, but it's like, so yeah, I get a little. And listen, that just happened.
If you don't have to shit before a main room show, you don't care.
Yeah, I had a show recently, and I was like, and I think it was pretty good. And the obsession is it's too much. I get too much, but it's like, look, man, I want to go in because I have a lot of things. Like,
I want to hear more about the obsession.
What do you want to know?
I'm not sure what's going on. You know what I mean?
Like what? Are you obsessing?
Like what kind of things do you obsess over? Like what drives you crazy? Do you compare and despair? Do you know? And
like the biggest thing with me is that I am a thing.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like
you have to live up to that.
If I'm at the store and you see me in the hallway and you didn't see me before this, you would be like, "There's Jamie Kennedy, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Jamie Kennedy's here tonight. Who else is here? Blah blah blah. So and so is here. So and so is here. Whatever. Right. So whatever your expectations are before you ever talk to me, you're gonna have that one expectation. Whatever my set is, you're gonna add that expectation. Where my career is, you're gonna add that expectation. What I've done, what you've heard about me personally, you're gonna add another expectation. So I have like 5 levels I have to get through. And let's say you bump me in the hallway, and I was like, had bad gas, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, Charles?" And I gotta go upstairs, and you're like, "Oh, he's fucking rude to me." So it's 6. I mean, I have like it's right. So it's
I'm
like
so anxious right now.
7 levels of stuff. Like I feel like I got to do it, and it's like I'm.
And then you get a weird text right before.
Yeah,
I can add an 8th.
And it's 8th, and we're like, people, we got to switch spots, or somebody didn't show. So there's a lot.
And then someone in the back is watching you that you didn't expect to be there.
No, and you're like,
and now for some reason, someone you went to high school with is in the front row.
Yeah. So fucking real.
Isn't that the worst? People sitting in the front, and you're like, why are you here?
Yes.
Why are you in the front?
Or they try to talk to you, and you're like, this is not high school. So wait, we just had like 9 or 10 levels, and it makes you go, I'm fine going back to the haha. And like but it's great, but those are like the things of like,
yeah.
And it's like, because listen.
And on top of that, you have to be funny.
Yeah.
Just to remind everyone. And what comes after that? And
everyone's in their own head. So yeah, in the comic before you, if he's really deep and smart, you maybe want to smart it up a little bit. If somebody's really high energy, you want to match their energy. It's all that shit. It's a fucking war. Like Patton Oswalt said that as the most beautiful thing. It's like it's fucking combat, man. And look, and so with me, that's what I go through. But I believe what I'm learning is that everyone is in their own fucking head. So if somebody bumps me, doesn't say something to me, whatever, think they're in their own dome. So my whole thing is I just try to go in, do my job, be cool with everybody, and bounce. But because it can be very, but I try to be respectful of everybody.
Yeah, I don't see you hang around much. I see you in and out with the hat and the hood on. And I was like, was that Jamie or is that someone I need to stop at the door?
Should I hang out more?
I don't know.
I mean, sometimes I can, but I just feel like.
Do you have social anxiety?
No, but I have been since I did this special. I've been doing a lot of sets, so I will have multiple sets in a night.
Mm-hmm.
I can have sets multiple times a night. Did you get that joke? So
wait, what's the joke?
I was doing an orgasm reference, but that one.
That was an orgasm reference?
Yes, I can have multiple sets.
I don't know. Sets to me does not equate.
I know. It was dumb. It was a fail. I tried. But like, do you know what? Honestly, sometimes why you don't see me hang around?
Why?
Because I have to
do multiple sets.
No, I have to talk. Sometimes I'll have to.
Yeah.
I'll have like somebody will ask me, "Yo, Jamie, when you like sometimes people want to talk a little bit, and sometimes if I don't feel like talking,
are you a introverted? Do you think
no, I'm not introverted. It's just like somebody.
Here it's awkward. Do you know what I mean about this? This club is like has a weird energy. Do you feel that?
I love this club.
Me too, but do you know what I mean?
I think it's the most intense energy of all the clubs.
I know. It's so odd.
It is the most intense energy. It's like, and you got to be on your game here.
Mm-hmm.
And so, why you don't see me is either because I'm going to other shows or I'm just like, I'm dead.
Yeah.
And sometimes I can't have a conversation.
What do you do during the day?
Or if I see somebody I know, then I'll say, what's up? Go ahead. What do I do during the day? I mean, what do we all do?
Right.
What do you do? I'm going to ask you, and then I'll take it back and see what I do with that.
I try to write, work out, go to an AA meeting, or run errands. Go over my set, write, stuff like that. The usual. That's it, right?
Here's what I usually have. Like, I'll have a cartoon audition.
Okay. Do you do a lot of voices?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'll do. Like tomorrow, I got an audition for a Disney streaming show.
Mm-hmm.
I try to work out. Now I've been doing more podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What else is there? Like, and then but like organized. I got a lot of other business interests and stuff. So I'm always doing something, trying to make it happen. But it's not like I just have a lot of free time. Mm-hmm. We're always on the grind, don't you think?
Yeah.
Even
it's incessant. Is that the right?
Yeah, and it's no matter what level you're at. Whatever level I'm at, or you're at, or Bill Burr's at, or whatever. I feel like we're all out there
grinding,
doing it. Yeah,
I hate that word, but yeah,
we're doing shows, preparing for shows, getting an acting job, trying to get the acting job. I mean, it's just a constant. There is no time for fucking loosey goosey.
Mm-hmm. What about dating?
What do you want to know? I mean, remember we said
we
weren't going to talk about.
You took a deep breath. Wait, did we say that we weren't going to talk about that?
What do you want to know?
That was the first time you breathed on this whole time.
Well, I was thinking about this. Let's go deeper on that one. Dating. Does anyone date?
Yeah.
Not comics.
No.
Right?
They fuck? Is that what you
mean?
What
do you think comics do? I had a great conversation with a female comedian.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say her name, but she was so fucking funny. And she says like, I gotta go on the road because I'm getting, my dates are selling and I'm gonna make money, but Jesus Christ, it fucking gets lonely.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, so? And she goes, what? And I go, well, fucking handle your scandal. And she goes, I'm not a dude, Jamie. I'm a female comedian. And I go, yeah. She goes, we don't go after shows and look for guys to eat us out.
Yeah.
I fucking lost it.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful. And it was like, obviously.
And guys don't approach female. Only
that's what she said.
One time a guy has said, "Can I get you a drink after a show?" But that never happened to me other times.
And that's so polite.
But girls come up to guys every single time. Every single time.
And they're not that like polite. They're like,
let's fuck.
Or they'll grab your fucking dick. They'll do shit. And so it's like,
I used to do that to guys.
Did you?
I used to in clubs on coke. I used to stick my hand. I shouldn't even say this, right?
Go, do it.
Is this one of those things that's going to get me in trouble?
5 years it will. Yes, from now. Go ahead.
I just used to like grab guys' dicks when I was like 20 years old, like at clubs.
And
I look back on that and I was like, what the fuck was like? That's so crazy.
And what happened?
It was okay back then.
It still might be okay
I'd be
now.
like, no. I was like testing.
Wait, so you would. This is so good. Wait, so you would test to see what he's working with?
Yeah.
Wow, but come on, that's not a fair grab.
I was like blackout drunk.
So you got to blame the booze.
I just had to find something.
Wait.
I'm backtracking.
You can't find a real size.
I know.
Some guys are always ready to go, and some people are being stored.
Yeah.
So you would have to grab it and then walk away and come back 30 seconds later and grab it again.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think you should have did in your grabbing career.
Yeah, I didn't give a pulse and a chance.
This is so funny. I love that, your honesty. Is your husband going to get mad at that share? No.
It is what it is. He knows that we were both really crazy before.
So let me ask you this. So let me go. So you were talking about female comedians. So it's like now I'm in a place where I'm not even really. I just love to do it, and then like I come back, and then I'm like, oh, that worked, and then I'm like, where's a really good place I can get some cheese? Like I'm almost 50.
You mean after you do a show and you're on the road, instead of trying to fuck a fan, you're trying to get some food?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm like, what can I watch on Netflix? I've lived.
Right. You don't care anymore.
Not really.
Okay.
I've lived, and at the end of the day, I just, I'm only doing it. I want to be better, and grow. And what I really want to like build up my own Jamie Kennedy base,
Mm-hmm.
But going back to the dating thing, it's like, yeah, I mean, in this business, it's not even the business. It's just our brains. It's like, it's very, very, very me oriented. And it's like, you have to have somebody who's aligned with you that wants what you want. And if not, then it's hard.
To listen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not like, I mean, look.
But like, it's like you career first.
100%.
So, yeah.
Career. And I don't know why. I was thinking about this the other day. I was back on the plane. I was flying a long-ass flight. I don't know why it is like that. I don't know why I'm looking at that camera. I'm sorry. I don't know why it is like that. And I don't know why it doesn't stop. But there's something inside of me that needs to be fulfilled.
I know.
And I cannot fucking fulfill it.
No
matter how many shows I do, no matter how killer the show is, no matter how good or the movie is, no matter how much money I make, what the fuck is that emptiness?
Yeah. That's why I'm saying, like, it's that high and then you crash after.
Yeah.
And you're still stuck with you.
Yes.
And that's why, you hear everyone say it's an inside job, and something that I've been,
What does that mean? Like you have to look at yourself?
It's a recovery term.
Oh, yeah.
But it essentially just means like all the exterior stuff isn't going to make it better. You know, drinking, a great job, money, hot guy, hot girl, whatever, bag, shoes, etc. Food. It's all like it's all on the inside. That you have to.
Connection is the biggest thing for me. And I don't need to know you. That's all bullshit. I don't know you at all.
Mm-hmm.
And look, we're connecting.
Yeah.
Are we doing it for a podcast? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But do you and I, are we connecting?
Yeah, we
100%.
Mm-hmm.
So why is that? Because we're like-minded.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is what we're fucking craving. I mean, this goes deep down a rabbit hole, but I think we're craving. Do you get me?
Yeah, I do.
That's like, you know what I mean? Like, do you get me? Like, that's what I'm saying to you, and you're saying that to me. Do you get me, Jamie? Do you get me, Chelsea?
Yeah.
That's
get the other person to get you.
Yes,
bring it back.
That's what we want. I think that's what we want.
I've been learning, like, I've been just kind of searching for, like, how to get that happiness without all that stuff. And it all keeps coming back to gratitude, living in gratitude. I heard another good thing a couple days ago, fall in love with the life that you have. And just using all of that, you know, just staying in gratitude, you know, doing gratitude lists. Have you ever done a gratitude list?
No, but I'm definitely, I hate this sound corny, but I am more grateful lately. But but I have gone to Cafe Gratitude, and now they made a damn hashtag, and people are out there, girls are like, gratitude.
I have not been there in 5 years.
But yes, I do agree with you. It is the gratefulness of the I was telling somebody the other night, like, you know, I just came back from Saudi Arabia and I did a bunch of shows, and then I just performed in the Belly Room, and to me, you know, I'm grateful for all of it. You know what I mean? I'm grateful to perform at the Ha-Ha. I'm grateful to perform in a hotel show, like, you know, because it's like people really do. They allow you to get in front of them. I know that sounds corny, but
no, yeah,
it's
bigger scope.
Yeah, like, it is beautiful. It's like, if not, what would I be doing at Starbucks, ranting, right? I mean,
delivering pizzas,
right? So I do. It's not like, and then there's a great book called Happiness is a Serious Problem by Dennis Prager. Everyone should look it up. And it talks about how we equate fun with happiness. So you go on the Indiana Jones ride, you had a lot of fun, and you have euphoria, and you're like, oh my God, it's amazing. And
dopamine.
Yes. And dopamines aren't happiness. And happiness is never going to last forever or be regular. You just have to admit right away that you're going to get up and you're going to feel like shit, or you're going to feel great, and then you might feel like shit and you get sad, and first thing we have to do is live our life and be emotions, because we are not robots. The second thing is we have to understand that the world lies to us, and that the movies that are put out always have a happy ending. That's bullshit. The TV shows teach you a lesson. That's bullshit. You know, it's bullshit. And you have to understand is we're trained for fucked upness to feel, right? Like, look at the weddings. Do you see one fucking magazine that has a wedding that shows a divorce? No. It's a white fucking perfect, and all your friends and all the bullshit. It's like, where's the fucking divorce?
Yeah.
Not all of them are in divorce, but it's like, that's what I'm saying. So there's a great saying called, people want to go to heaven, but they don't want to die. And I feel like that's with comedy, like what you're saying. People want to laugh at us, but they don't want to fucking listen to when you get dark. But it's like, hi, that comes with the funny.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you, Jamie.
Did I go too far?
No, I just felt like that was a good place to end.
Okay.
Right?
All right, yeah. Whatever you want.
Cool. Well, where can we find you on social media? And any upcoming dates you want to promote or anything else?
I'm the Jamie Kennedy on Instagram. Well, somebody took my name.
Oh, really?
Jamie Kennedy on Twitter. I shot my special. Look for it. Hopefully, I'm going to sell it to Netflix or Amazon. And then I did a part. I got a Brad Pitt. I got a part in a Brad Pitt movie called Ad Astra. I'm waiting to see how big my part is. Hopefully, I hope it's
congrats.
Yeah, thank you. I did that and did another movie called Trick with Omar Epps. So hopefully, it comes out in the fall. So
awesome.
I'm trying.
Love it. Well, thank you again so much for coming on. And guys, please remember to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. Thank you for listening. Bye.